Hello, and welcome to a Compliance Assist planning training. The first step will be to sign in to Compliance Assist using the URL at the top of the page here, frostburg.compliance-assist.com/planning, or by accessing the Compliance Assist planning icon, the Frostburg State web pages. Once you sign in, it will take you to what we call the landing site, and from here you can click on Planning to then be taken to what we call the home page. From here you'll see updates from your administrator, potentially links to training videos such as this one. Click on My Dashboard to then get started. From here it will take you to a section where you can see your specific roles and then the different plans and forms and templates that you are asked to fill out as a part of that role. Today we're talking about Learning Outcomes Assessment, specifically how to fill out the annual assessment update. So this is kind of part 2 of a 3-part series. Last time we talked about how to fill out the program learning goal. To fill out your annual assessment update, you can actually click on that specific template under New Item. And then from here, a blank kind of canvas will open up and you can begin to fill in the information. An important thing to note, for every field, or for many of the fields, there's an instructional item to the right of the field. So you can hover over that I to see the specific requirements for those fields when applicable. So here you can list specific courses that are being assessed. Select your start and end date. I think for the most part leaving the fiscal year is appropriate. Your progress, whether that's ongoing, scheduled, you've finished up and you've already closed the loop on your assessment. Responsible roles, so who might be taking action or be responsible for this larger initiative. To do this, you'd click on Manage, and then you can actually select individuals from the site by selecting the text box or the checkbox next to their name, and then under Add, hit Selected, and then you can add them to by hitting Add Roles. So now we have Doris associated with this particular update. I'm going to go ahead and hit Save right now, as once we do that, additional fields will become available. All right, so scrolling down through the form, we see one of the fields here is called baseline data. This is one of the areas that populates once you save. Now what this means is the ability to pull in survey or rubric data that you've collected in baseline, which is the assessment platform. And to do that, you would have to already have data in baseline to make this connection. So if you do have a survey or a rubric that relates to this particular goal and you want to document your assessment efforts, you can click on Add Baseline, little plus sign. And it will then open up a field where you can browse through the specific projects to which you have access. It may ask you to sign in if you're not already signed in to Baseline. You can search for the specific name, select it, and if you've created any specific saved views within Baseline, which essentially would mean that inside the results of that tool you had potentially created a view of data with only certain questions, perhaps filtered by a certain subset, and saved that within Baseline, those will show up here. In this case, I'm going to select all project data, which is always an option anytime you conduct a survey or rubric in Baseline, and then hit Add. And essentially what this will do is then pull over the aggregate data of your report into Compliance Assist. You can click on that and it'll pull open a PDF of the data. Scrolling down, summary of findings. Again, you can hover over that I. What did your results show? Attach or link to your evidence. So here you can click Edit, provide a narrative of the findings, copy and paste from another document, or using the file library, upload some specific findings, let's say from a Word document, or if you have those somewhere else on your computer. Was the target met? Exceeded, met, not met? This will essentially relate to your outcome. to your learning goal, essentially. Did you meet the requirements that you had set out, exceed those, not meet those? So you can kind of keep track and potentially use that as a barometer for writing your goals the next time. What did you do with the results? Here we say it tells us that including program or course changes that come as a result of previous assessment findings. So list or provide a short narrative. So essentially, what changes did we make? Curriculum changes, etc. So we can click Edit again and provide that narrative. And then lastly, but certainly not least, changes made to assessment plan. So essentially here's where we really close the loop truly, and if there are specific changes that we're making to how we're assessing these learning goals from year to year, the goals themselves, we want to document those here so that when we go to start the process again in the beginning of the fiscal year or academic year, we have a note of that and we can make changes to our goals and to our assessment plan based on what we've provided here. So once you have filled all that in, you can click Save and Close, and then it will show up for you listed here. You can see that this is the Annual Assessment Update icon. You can click on it and make edits if needed. That is the conclusion of our short tutorial on how to fill out the Annual Assessment Update. Stay tuned for the next tutorial on how to relate items from your program learning goals to higher divisional or college goals or outcomes.